Welcome to From the Stands,
Yeah.
PNW. We're a podcast about dirt track racing in Pacific Northwest.
Yep.
Bonus episode.
Bonus
Okay.
episode.
Let me know when we're going.
We are live.
All right. All right. Welcome to our podcast. This is From the Stands, PNW. We are a podcast that focuses on dirt track holy buckets. Dirt track racing in the PNW, and if you don't, PNW is Pacific Northwest Dirt Track Racing. This is our bonus episode. So, bonus episode. Stacy had this bright idea, and I love it, so we're going to go with it, and it is a recap, fans' perspective of Dirt Cup. Dirt Cup just ended. I'm going to give my perspective.
Hold that thought.
Yeah.
First, what is Dirt Cup?
So if anybody is not familiar with Dirt Cup is a 3-day race event. Arguably the biggest or second biggest weekend for Skagit Speedway in their race season. I think the only thing that comes close to it is the high limit 3 days during Labor Day weekend, right? But this year it was June 18th, 19th, and 20th-ish.
Something like that.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Had 52 410 sprint cars. I haven't seen that many 410s at a single race in quite a long time. Was nice to see. And we had, well, depending on what day, we had 20 Northwest Focus midgets on Thursday. We had 22 on Friday. Stacy probably didn't even know that little tidbit.
Nope.
That's the kind of fan I am, I'm telling you. And then Saturday was basically hot laps, heat races, and main events. And it was absolutely freaking outstanding. It was the best 3 days of racing, I think, I've seen in quite a while. Are you surprised by that?
No, I'm not surprised.
It was better than High Limit last year. Even though Rico swept, it was better than High Limit last year.
I can see that.
And the reason for that is the middle of the pack mattered. Drivers at the end. Let's talk, because we're going to talk about that. I think that's where you want to go.
Hold on.
Right?
We got to start with Wednesday night.
Okay.
Go in order.
Oh, man. See, that's why she is behind the camera pulling the strings.
This one's dying.
Okay.
We're going to go this way and see.
All right, technical but that's what you get with the bonus episode, a little behind the scenes.
Okay, Wednesday night.
Wednesday night was the pre-Dirt Cup party. It was at the Railroad Bar and Grill.
Pub and pizza.
Pub and pizza. It was at the Railroad in Burlington, Washington, my hometown, by the way.
I'll chime in.
Okay. To get to know me, I'm a very blunt and honest person. I had to pull back a little bit there because it wasn't what I expected, I guess.
Yes, and I think that's a fair way. We've never gone to a kickoff party. It was not what I expected. It was hot. There was a lot of fans out there, which was great to see that many people out there. But the facility wasn't ready for
I don't think so.
The turnout that was there.
A lot of people showed up, and that was great to see. And I would say probably 80% were super excited about being there, being dirt track racing fans, Skagit Speedway fans, excited for Dirt Cup. You know, probably 15% had no clue why all these people were in their neighborhood bar messing up there. But we had live band playing. They were doing a few giveaways, I think, kind of thing. There were some drivers there. Drivers were selling some merch. They had a few of the local cars there. Justin Youngquist's sprint car was there, which was great to see. I own his sweatshirt, so I just like to put that out there. By the way, and if you catch me on the dirt track, the sprint car racing game, I will be Justin Youngquist tonight online kicking around, just putting that out there. So anyway, the party wasn't what I expected. It was about as alienating of an average fan as you could probably see. And that really started the fire of this. like the fire was already burning, but it was kind of sprinkling gas on that idea. Was, as a fan, I felt alienated, to be honest with you. I'm not in the know. I'm not best friends with the drivers. I don't know the track announcer. And it felt like it kind of reminded me of being at the cafeteria in high school, is what it felt like. Would you agree?
I would agree with that.
So I was kind of bummed about that when we left, you know. It was hot. It was an off kind of thing. Some people would argue differently. I would have to go again before I pass judgment on it's not worth going. But I knew it wasn't going to set the tone for the racing, which it did not.
No.
So
Okay. Thursday.
So
Night one.
Thursday was a bunch of qualifying, time trials, that kind of thing. It's a lot slower because you're timing in every car, and so we left the track, and so we live about 20 minutes north of the track. We walked through the door with hardly any. There was 0 red flags, I think, that night, and it was 11:30 when we came through the door. It was extremely late. I think the race ran long. I wasn't a fan of how they were doing the. See, as your average fan, I don't know what they were calling it.
The 2-car time trials?
Yeah, I didn't like that either. But when they were like number one would start 16th in the main or whatever it was. Invert 16 cars. I thought that was insane to me. I'd never seen anything like that. Heat race, they inverted 6, which meant number one guy was starting 6th. And in the main events, it meant that number one guy that would normally start first in the A main would have to start 16th. Now, as a casual, I guess I'm a little more than a casual fan, but as a fan that doesn't have the extreme in and outs of sprint car racing, I kind of calculated in my head that it takes about a driver 2 laps to make up one spot on the track in position. So you think about it, if you have a car that starts 16th and it's the fastest on the track, it takes about 2 laps to go from 16th in my weird thinking brain, go from 16th to first every 2 laps. Well, if the main event's 25 laps, there's probably no, unless people wreck out, there is no chance on straight racing. If it's competitive, that 16's getting it first. What do you think? Did you like it?
No, I thought it put people at a complete disadvantage. If you're the fastest one during time trials,
you should be rewarded.
You should be rewarded.
Yeah.
Not in the middle of the pack where you can't get anywhere.
But I do understand trying to keep it competitive, and I do get that. So I don't hate them for that. I don't say that, oh, shame on them for doing that. At least not with night number 1.
Yeah. It was
night
different.
number 1 was okay.
Night 2 followed the same type of format.
Same inverted 16, inverted 6 for the heats. The championship stuff, that bothered me. The qualifying shootout.
The pole shuffle.
The pole shuffle with what was that, the top 6 or top 8. You know, what I was interested is when we were coming to the track, especially on Thursday, and Stacy was going over the national guys that were going to be there. And, of course, Rico Abreu, Tanner Holmes, so on and so forth. Of course, Brad Sweet. In my brain, I'm thinking, where is I think it was, what did he drive last year, 49 Napa sprint car? I'm looking for that. And Brad was not in the Napa car because he doesn't race for Napa anymore. He kind of semi-retired. But he was in the white W.
So random.
But he was fast. He was impressively fast. But he wasn't just fast. He played the game well. Qualified well, did well in the races, stayed out of any trouble. And what ended up happening?
He led all 40 laps.
And he won the $100,000 payday.
Plus a bonus for every lap that you won.
And I don't think people expected it. I think people were shocked because the majority, when they were going through the stands and were talking about who do you expect to win, it was Rico. I was pulling for Rico. I'm a huge Rico fan. But Rico
the amount of merch
that
the fans had of Rico's was incredible.
Oh, yeah.
And we talked about this earlier today when we were driving around. When he came for High Limit, the extra Rico culture that came with him
Oh, yeah.
has still followed him. I was at Safeway and we were getting Starbucks before the race on Saturday. And the gal was a cashier at Safeway, goes, "Oh, how's Rico doing? I haven't made it up there yet."
The Rico culture is real. But I did secure my very first 118 scale sprint car for my collection. Thank you, Tanner Holmes, for that. Yeah, I had him sign it.
You can see it up on our TikTok.
I think it's
account.
on our TikTok. Yeah, I had him sign it and even pose kind of cheesily with the pose for a picture with it. But I'm super proud to add to the collection. You'll probably see it in some of the episodes as we go, trying to put out some racing decor to seem a little more kind of together and professional. But yeah, I think we have an episode, kind of a mini episode that we shot today. And I think the title is To Goggle or Not to Goggle. I did a little thing at Skagit today for that. I upgraded my goggle situation hugely for Dirt Cup. I thought my retinas were burning out because it was
The sun
hot.
sets across the track from the stands.
You're staring at the sun and you're wishing it sets faster. Of course, in our race season, it's summertime, so the sun is up longer, but yeah. So I upgraded my goggle, and I will get into that in more in depth if people want. We can do another little mini to goggle or not to goggle. But if you're new to dirt track racing, you go to Skagit in particular, you need that eye protection. What do you think?
Definitely.
Eye protection? Yeah.
And you almost need something along your face. My blanket gets pulled farther up my face as the night goes on, and my hood gets pulled down.
Now, we have 410s, highest cubic inch engine, the most horsepower on the track right now. You get 25 of those cars spinning that tire, drying the track out like it is. I don't think I've been going to Skagit off and on for 35 years. I don't ever recall getting that dirty. I don't ever recall that. Do you? Like, it just felt like somebody had a bucket and was just dumping it as we were sitting there on us. It was
the amount
crazy
of dirt that was on the bottom of my shower every night.
But you know what makes me feel like a car guy, though, more than anything else, even though I'm not, and we talk about fans to not be left behind, is getting dirty at Skagit, coming home. I didn't turn a single wrench. I look like I did, but I didn't turn a single wrench. That is the most I've felt like a car guy in my entire life. So, but it was awesome. Despite the heat, despite the inversions, despite the pole shuffles, definitely Dirt Cup is a must for everybody.
And really, that top 10 drivers and the A main could have gone any direction.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And I'm saying the top 10, it probably could have even gone farther than that. But
can I do a quick hot take, though? Do we have time for that, to do a quick hot take?
It's a bonus episode. It's ours to do what we want to do.
And I asked Stacy this when we were at Dirt Cup. When I was a kid, I noticed back in the day, you had a field of 25 sprint car drivers, right? Usually 410s back then. There'd be 2 or 3 that had the money that would do well because they had the equipment and everything to go in. And they would be fast and do the thing, and you would get everyone else would be mediocre or bad, and there would be a lot of wrecks, a lot of red flags. I'm talking where it would take you, 9 restarts to get 1 lap in, kind of red flag craziness. You don't see that anymore. The skill level of drivers from top to bottom, nobody is bad anymore. Everybody drives extremely skillfully. And I don't know because everybody has a decent amount of money now and they're afraid to break their equipment or what, but I noticed that. There is the skill level from top to bottom is tremendous.
Are the track guys doing an amazing job at the surface of the track?
And that is a big thing. And we're going to be getting into some of those guys that operate on the surface of the track in this podcast. So you're going to want to stay tuned for those episodes.
Okay, last thing on Dirt Cup.
Okay.
Your top 5 Dirt Cup experiences, from racing to wrecks to people that you have interacted with at Dirt Cup to food, whatever it is.
From this year?
From this year.
My top 5.
Your top 5.
Everything.
And this is off the cusp.
Okay, so I think food was tremendous. I'll just say that. I had the best food experience I think I've ever had in probably my life at Skagit Speedway at Dirt Cup. The 210 food truck, whatever they're doing with Angel of the Winds Casino and all of that, the 210 food truck is outstanding. So I'm going to put 2 of my 5 were the chicken wings and garlic fries. I know the garlic fries are standard concession at Skagit Speedway, but the chicken wings
from Wings and Things
was outstanding. It was the best chicken wing I'd ever eaten. I love food. Chicken wings, I've eaten a ton. Best chicken wing. Interaction, I would have to say, standing in line, we were waiting for the gates to open and talking with the fans around us. Some of them former drivers, some have been fans for 40 years that have been coming down. That was easily in my top 5 experience, because at Skagit Speedway, everybody likes these. I mean, you're not getting fights. You're not getting drunken craziness. So fan interaction before the gates open was a huge highlight for me. Personally, I ran into a cousin of mine that was super awesome. Sheila, love you. Shout out to you if you listen to this podcast. I would love to get her on because she's done a lot of dirt track watching, and my cousin Greg racing when he did. So, but the last thing for me is Tanner Holmes signing the car. I really dug that. I was super excited to have my first 18 scale sprint car in my collection. So, how about you? Why don't you nail it out? Food's got to be up there, though, because you seem to enjoy the food, too.
I do. And the lines actually were impressively short this year. High limit lines were awful Labor Day weekend.
First, when Stacy got back, first thing I asked, what's wrong? She's like, why? You came back too quick. What happened? The lines weren't bad. They were efficient, so.
Yeah. I remember Saturday of high limit weekend last year, the food truck ran out of food before like even the main events. Yeah. So I think my top 5 would be, I guess in really no order, because we didn't really think about how to rank these.
Correct.
Would be the Pie Barn, to get pie at a racetrack.
To get not just pie, but good pie.
It was expensive pie.
But it's good pie at a racetrack.
Yes. So I had a Snickers pie.
And my advice is, if you do that at the racetrack, get some sort of chocolate, so if the dirt gets in it, you don't notice it. Just a hot take. Go ahead.
I did buy a few different shirts this year. So
who did you get?
I got Tanner Holmes.
Tanner Holmes.
And I did get a Rico shirt.
Got a Rico shirt. Okay.
And I'm eyeing a sweatshirt from Trey Starks.
Trey Starks white sweatshirt. But
it's white. I can't do white.
She's digging Trey Starks because he is fast.
He is.
He is fast. So merch was a highlight.
So merch was a highlight. So the Pie Bar merch. Can't pass up on the Skagit 210 Brewery. What did they call that one? Sidewinder.
What is that?
The beer, the lager.
Oh yeah.
You can't pass up on a good.
The Sideways lager, whatever that was. Yeah, it was good. Good.
A good beer at the Speedway when it was hot.
And not expensive too. Like.
Yeah.
But it's worth the money and just the quality.
Yeah.
You're a lager fan, yeah, absolutely. Okay.
And probably just the main events on, especially Saturday.
So let me ask, you don't have a ton of dirt track racing experience, right?
No.
I think it's basically, since we've been together, you've gone to.
Yeah, I've gone a few times in my previous life, but not.
But the racing was exciting, right? You could follow it. It was something that was interesting to you, right?
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
And I think
that's
in
good.
the last probably 2 or 3 years that we've gone more and more, every year I feel like we increase how many races we go to.
Yeah, because now we've started a podcast. Another thing, I think the next would be a TV show, right? So, yeah.
So, but I definitely think the racing has held my attention, and I like the extra things I see on social media of these drivers and their stories and that culture that they're putting out. I feel a little more invested in it.
Oh,
So when we
nice,
talked
nice.
about like the Rico culture of it, I think that's kind of what's hooking me a little bit more.
Sure.
Now, Tanner's stuff is all over my Facebook and my TikTok. I don't really follow Instagram that
Popular
much.
driver, though.
He is, and he has an amazing, huge YouTube following. And so I think seeing these guys live their life on the road and on the racetrack and everything that they put into it, I can appreciate that. From my first life of showing animals and traveling all summer, I kind of get that.
It's the same
Culture.
culture, right?
Yeah.
It's that carny kind of lifestyle. I mean, yeah. So I think that's awesome.
Going fair to fair, going racetrack to racetrack.
to
like-
racetrack. That's what those guys do. Yeah, guys and gals both do. Yeah, I can't wait until Stacy gets to see a race from the pits. That's going to be our next hurdle that she gets to accomplish. Is what does it look like all the time from the pits? But anyway, that is our hot take episode, our bonus episode. So that is a recap of Dirt Cup according to the fan from the stands. PNW guys, thank you for watching. Like I said, every 2 weeks, follow us on social media from the stands, PNW. Wherever you can find your podcasts, we will be there. Thank you much, guys.
This podcast is created by Jimmy and Stacy, hosted by Jimmy, and produced by Stacy and Nick. Like, subscribe, and share this video and the podcast.